Okay guys, hopefully you can hear me again. Let's do a quick mic check and then we'll go live. Mic check. Hopefully that fixed the problem. We good? Alright. Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's go here. Get rid of this guy. Alright. So we left off on YFI. I think that's what, pretty sure that's where I lost you guys. Seems like what you guys were saying in the chat was YFI. Let a few more of you guys hop in here. Alright. Okay. Alright, so everything is all good. You guys good on your end? Good on your end? Testing 1 2 1 2. Alright. So this was Ethereum. We saw this. We were good here. Let's skip through. This was Ethereum BTC. Hidden bullish divergence. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Skip on over. Litecoin. Litecoin painting either some sort of even Litecoin, it doesn't necessarily have to be a shark. This could also be kind of a 786 cipher here. So 786, 886 deep retracements, right? These are areas that we'd be concerned with anyways. So we just need to watch for this, right? Just once we reach these areas, you know, throw up the alert, right? So yeah, Litecoin, again, really know until we get there and it confirms. So right now, bearish shark, bearish cipher, 786, 886. That's the kind of area we'd be looking for on Litecoin. Basically 300, over 300, both of them, 310 and then like 325. So both of them are saying get back over 300, right? So this was YFI. This was where I lost you guys basically, and on YFI you definitely had the shark, right? Which on the shark you want this kind of 1618. It went a little deeper, but it was kind of okay because all it did was kind of hit this previous support resistance area that we had marked, right? So nothing too crazy there. Just some wick action, some liquidation action. Okay, so YFI, we're looking for this 886, 55,800. Again, this similar pattern that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, everything's kind of painting similar things. Excuse me, as they should, because a lot of these things follow Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin's painting something and these other alts are matching it, it's not that shocking, right? It's a lot of this is based on Bitcoin, right? So when Bitcoin says up, everything goes up. When Bitcoin says that's it, party's over, we go down, everything goes down. So it makes sense that they'd be painting similar type of price action and therefore patterns, right? So, okay. Moving along, this sucker is what we got into yesterday as well. We had an alert yesterday for Bcash, garbage Bcash, right? But, you know, it's again, it's not so much about the underlying asset all the time, guys. It's sometimes it's just more about, you know, what's happening with the technicals, right? So you know, don't care necessarily what the underlying asset is. We more care about patterns. We care about double bottoms at critical support resistance levels. We care about uh, you know when these harmonics are painting perfect 1414 fibs. Check this out. So we fibbed from this A low to this B high, and we hit this 1414 fib retracement. Then we double bottomed, and the second low on the double bottom basically was a slightly higher low. And this is the kind of thing, again, guys, that if you've been watching this stream, you'll see this same type of situation over and over and over, like where we paint these, we look for the similar price action setup, and it basically, what it does is it brings our edge back, to the top, right? So we've waited, and then the edge paints, and then we jump in, right? So it's just something we do, is we rinse and repeat that over and over, as close as we can to our entry point as possible, and we just look for these targets, and if we just stay consistent and we let the patterns do their thing, and we don't stop ourselves out, or liquidate ourselves out before anything even happens here, then typically we win a lot of these. So again, maybe just trade some of these on spot. Look, a spot trader, again, even if this retraces all the way back to the bottom of this candle, but either way, even if you buy it right here, you're still getting gains, guys. Look, 40%. You don't even need leverage there. And even if you were 2x, 3x, yeah, geez, there's some real gains there, but you just got to be more careful at that point, of course, right? So, anyways, on Bitcoin Cash here, we're basically, again, Bitcoin needs to hold up, of course, right? So we're expecting, nothing certain, but as long as Bitcoin holds up, we can see Bitcoin Cash hit kind of the 786, 886 type area, which puts it back over $1,100, but almost in that 1150 range. Look, we talked about this before. This was over here, right? We said, look, guys, this shit's getting up in that $1,000 range. We were up around 1,100. We were talking about just shorting Bitcoin Cash anywhere above 1,000. What happened when it was above 1,000? It dumped all the way back down to 700, right? So now what is it doing? It double bottomed at 700, and right now you're at 800. But if you can get back again above that $1,000, above 1,100 again, you're setting yourself up to short this thing again. And at that point, you just be putting in a lower high, right? So, but first we got to get up there, right? And while we get up there, there's a potential trade here. So, let's see. Moving on, I just wanted to quickly go over that. Okay, guys, we have requests now, so kind of getting into that section. So this is SOL. So basically, it's really strong. So what you painted initially was some bearish divergence, right? So when this was happening, we were kind of watching this, and it wasn't looking very hot, especially because, everything was pretty much kind of tanking, right? So you did have some sell-off, but quickly recovered. And then again, just put in new highs. Well, now what's happening here is what you would have wanted to see is a lower level of positive momentum, right? And at that point, you would paint kind of this 3x divergence, right? Like that. But you didn't get it. You invalidated that. And instead, you painted, again, much higher levels of positive momentum. And at the same time, price was going in your direction, right? So now, at this point, it's no longer like bearish divergence. Now you almost have bullish convergence, right? So even on the RSI, right, it really isn't rolling over where you wanted and thought you were going to roll over. You thought this was kind of top, this was a lower, and just start dumping off from here. But it turned and recovered, and just more bids came in, more buyers stepped in. Right now, again, you're looking a little toppy, but based on those oscillators, it needs to put in another slightly higher high, and then lower levels of positive momentum and lower levels of relative strength on the RSI, and at that point you could start to see the bearish divergence then finally really starting to develop again, and see if at that point it holds. But again, I would say it's probably, if Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything is strong still, this is going to stay hanging on for a little while longer. But once those assets then look themselves, begin to roll over, we'll look back at this again and see what's developed with Sol. But right now, it seems like this is still gonna leg up again, which makes sense. Look, you're at $46. Why would you not go to $50, right? I mean, you're so close, just this round number, right? So you would figure you're gonna go touch 50. I'm not saying that that's gonna be it, but all I'm saying is 50 is probably going to get tapped here pretty soon here on Sol. Low time frame probably looks trash because it's kind of resetting on that low time frame, but I mean this 4 hour still has room to run. Still has room to run. Okay, what do we have here? FTT. We had a request for FTT. So FTT, you look to be, putting in this rounding price action, which is good sign for reversal, right? Where you have a low on price and then a slightly lower low, but then finally we're starting to put in higher lows, right? So again, we just need to keep this up, and we need to continue to somewhere out here just paint higher lows. Wherever this ends up kind of coming back to, it doesn't have to be right away, it could be way up here. It just needs to stay above, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of paint a trend line here, right? Be one with the trend line. Say you were this line, and price somewhere went sideways and came back, tapped this line, ran back up. Well, that's what we'd be looking for, right? Again, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. But doesn't have to touch that one, because the trend could get more vertical, right? This higher low could be way up here. It doesn't have to come back. In fact, we'd rather it be like this, because it's just going to show extreme bullishness, right? Again, what's kind of happening here is you're starting to kind of lock yourself into a bit of a wedge scenario, where eventually you got to pop out to one side or the other. FTT again, if all these other assets remain bullish, this one, I don't see why this one wouldn't either, based on what's been going on, like with SOL and whatnot. These FTX coins have been, having a little push themselves. This rounding price action bottoming that you're seeing here, this rounding kind of price action, that's what you're looking for, guys. That's a good kind of sign that things are rolling over to the upside, right? So at this point, even on this kind of, as we zoom in, it's that kind of structure again where we would have painted some kind of neckline here, right? And you kind of engulfed through that, right? So could you see a slight backtest of this? Sure. And that's where, again, we would see that slightly higher low, right, up here. So maybe you backtest this somewhere, and then you pop out of this. We'd like to see backtest this downsloping trend line as well, kind of SR flip that area, kind of at this previous where you are now, right? And then run. just flip all this resistance into support, right? You have a little work ahead of you, and as long as you can break through this, all this overhead resistance, then that's kind of what needs to happen here, guys. Just standard price action, reversal to the upside. Um, Harmonic wise, it looks like you're painting a little bit of a structure here where if we go back to the high on the 14th, I believe it was, yep, on April 14th, we had this high, put in this X low, XA, here we have the B, 618, slightly lower low on the C, so this is cipher territory, guys, where you would now be targeting a 786, okay? So 786 on a cipher would look something like this, guys. Price would be around $55 on FTT. Current price is just shy of 50. You're at like 49.50. So this is like $55, $56 territory here on FTT. And also, if we then start to, do our thing where we fib from the high to low, that gives us our 786 area that we're targeting. Okay, guys? $55 on FTT was requested in the chat. Another request from the chat is cake. Looks like we had some paint on the board last time we checked on cake, and it looks like we have not only hit a target on cake, but have now backtested it as basically what was once previous resistance in this area, right? Has now kind of been flipped into support and then engulfed. So, wow. Cake showing some real strength. Guys, even with that massive dump, right? You can see all that really happened is, again, slightly higher lows, right? And a square up. You see this square up that we're always talking about? That's all that kind of happened there, right? You just, price went up, you back tested. Again, look, you could have went all the way back up here, but the problem is that these alts, we talk about this with Bitcoin, you have a window of opportunity. If you fail to hit your target within your window that Bitcoin's allowing you to have, if you're lagging behind the group and no bids are coming into your asset, then you're going to fail before you reach your target. But even though you failed probably in the best way possible here, and then immediately recovered and ran. So, really, really good to see here. Nothing discernible yet as far as, saying top here. So at this point, let's see if we've reached the 1618, and we have. Eesh. So this makes sense. So, okay, oscillators aren't showing that bearish divergence per se, but that doesn't mean you can't take a breath here, right? You reach the 1618, you come back and you back test the previous target, right? The target at 29.97 is basically $30. So you ran up, you hit 34, you come and back test 30 again. And at that point, you could run again, because the 4 hour, it's still not exhausted, right? There's still room to run. So within itself, it could reset and continue on until eventually it paints that bearish divergence somewhere in probably the $35 area. And this is one of those things that we see this happen where assets will hit the golden mean ratio. Okay, guys, You guys, I know you guys have seen this shit happen before, where we hit the harmonic, we take the short, right, and then it comes back and it puts us underwater slightly, right, and all that does is just kind of like this sweep of the previous golden mean ratio, and it gives you this more of this optimal entry area. And that's kind of where you would short it. And also at that point, that's really how you get that divergence. You know what I'm saying? So, but first, even within here, a little slight recovery down here before you do that, you know what I mean? That's kind of what we were talking about. Backtesting these previous target areas, previous SR flipped area, double, kind of double bottom at that SR flip by having this second touch point here. And that allow you to sweep the highs again, hitting some kind of 1272. If you fib from this current level to wherever you retrace to, you would be looking for this like 1272 type sweep to put in the bearish divergence, and then you could probably say that cake might be in for more of a retracement. And guys, that is very likely scenario, because even on Bitcoin, we talked about this being more of, let's see, oh, you guys are saying that the audio is kind of jacked. Fuck. It's cause, I wonder if it's cause, testing, yep, okay, let's see, I have it plugged in. So, looks like we're still good. I'm gonna unplug it. Guys, did that fix the audio? Can you hear me better? It's okay. I like it. Robot audio. Did it change at all? I just want to know if it changed. Okay, let me go back to the stream. Boop. It's the same. Okay. Shit. I'm not sure what's the problem there. Again, hopefully, like I said, the PC comes in tomorrow. I'll hook up all the audio to the PC. No change at all. We can deal with robot voice. It's okay. Alright. Cool. Thanks for that heads up, at least. Either way. Alright, we'll move on. We got cake updated. Next, somebody had a request for XRP. So we'll go to this XRP. Okay, guys, we've talked about this pattern before. I've painted it before 1 or 2 times. I know you guys always kind of make fun of it because I don't know how to draw on TradingView. Okay, so what we're looking at here, guys, in my opinion, is a pretty textbook bullish dragon. Just dragon pattern, okay? So what we're looking at here is this, okay? Stay with me. Okay, so we have this initial low, okay, guys? The dump. Then we put in a slightly higher low, which is what we like to see. We have a lot of double bottoms. They're equal lows, some are slightly lower lows, but this one, being the slightly higher low, is our favorite, okay? So we have the slightly higher low, okay? So now we're looking to paint kind of a dragon, basically, okay? So what we have here is this huge spine, guys, and this thing is pretty textbook here. Yeah, I mean that's really nice, guys, and we've kind of broken out of it, and we're looking to maybe backtest it a little bit. What was once kind of this downsloping trend line resistance, we now have broken out of it, backtesting it. So that's kind of the spine, okay, is what you call that, the spine of the dragon. Okay, so here would be like his head, right? Here's his head, and his head kind of comes up, and then say he's kind of like almost like a T-Rex, you know what I mean? He's got these little stubby kind of arm thingies going on, little dragon, I don't know. He's like a little T-Rex, Then you come in, you have the body of the dragon, and here's his feet, guys. This is like the dragon's feet. It's the double bottom, okay? So that's where you create the feet of the dragon, okay? So here's the fire breathing dragon, okay? And then yeah, he is Godzilla. So here's his eyes, whatever you want to call this. He doesn't actually have eyes, but I'm just trying to paint a picture here, guys. Okay, so then what would a dragon or what would Godzilla look like, right? What would T-Rex look like here? Well, he would have some kind of tail, wouldn't he? And his tail is pretty gnarly, right? It's like this I don't know, guys. I'm not an artiste here, but you basically are going to create this channel, okay? So some kind of just price action channel to the upside here, okay? And make some kind of tail out of it, okay? Picture this, all right? So if I were this dragon, then I would need to get into some kind of golden retrace from the previous high to low. Okay, this is going to put us right in this golden zone. Our golden zone is our 382 to our 618. Okay, so now you can see how we're going to paint this pattern. Okay, and the 618, it doesn't mean it's over right there. It just means that's you're going to hit this golden zone and you're going to hit a golden retrace. Okay, and then from there, you know, we check things out, check the oscillators. You probably see some kind of square up here, even get to $1.70 on XRP, which would probably be like the 786. So, yeah, I know it's weird, guys, but it's something that if I show it to you multiple times like this, you're going to eventually start to see it yourself, and you're going to be like, oh, shit. And the key to this is being able to see the double bottom, right, and the spine. You don't need the dragon's face and all that stuff because that's previous price action to looking left, right? We care about looking right, okay? So more than anything, at this point, now that I cleaned this up for you guys, and hopefully this kind of helps, right? You see this spine, you see the double bottom. That's kind of all you need to identify, okay? And when that happens, you look for the variables, okay? Well, what's happening on the oscillators is we have bullish divergence, okay? Where you're putting in this, it's almost bullish convergence because you're putting in a slightly higher low with lower levels of negative momentum, which is basically reversing, you know, the direction of momentum by the buyer. The bids are stepping in, buyers are stepping in. Momentum is turning bullish. That's what we're trying to say here, guys. Look, RSI, MACD, and price action all converging in the same up direction, right? Price up only right here. Okay, so XRP request ended up being a fucking almost textbook fucking dragon on the 4 hour. So whoever requested this dog shit asset, congratulations. No, like in a good way. Thank you for having us look at it. It's amazing right now that a couple of our best setups are XRP and BCH. These are just absolute shit assets. But, you know, there's money to be made. We'll take it. Moving on. Stellar Lumen. What do you guys see? Stellar Lumens. I'm just going to throw it there for like five more seconds here. How would you play the long on the dragon? Basically layer in from current price arc. From current price, layer in below yourself and fill some bids, and you would have a stop loss below the double bottom, like ideally the previous lower, the lowest, because on XRP those double bottoms are really close to each other. So the one further left was a slightly lower low. I would have to stop below there, and I would layer in from current price below yourself I mean, you're at like, I don't know what you were at, $1.40 or whatever. So like layer in like a dime within a dime below yourself, right? And then use that lowest low as your stop. If that gets broken, we just need to reevaluate the situation, right? Just abort, get the hell out of there, look back another day. That's all you do. That's it, right? Nothing else. That's it. And it shouldn't be devastating. It should just be a simple stop. Pattern wasn't what we thought it was. Something changed in the market sentiment. We move on, right? We live to fight another battle, right? That's it. So again, you're going to see the same thing on Stellar. The only difference on Stellar is your stop is going to be wider, okay? That's it, okay? Only difference. But in your favor, the higher low was significantly higher here versus on XRP. They were almost identical, right? XRP's low was like this, okay, guys? XRP's was right here. So what I was just telling Ark is that his stop would be like in this area, right? You're below the previous low left, looking back left, right? We're looking at this previous wick. So something like this. Okay, you just have that stop. So on XRP, this is how the setup looks. Well, on Stellar, the stop stays the same. You see what I mean? But the low is significantly higher. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing because it just means that the bids came in even stronger here than they did on XRP. So I would imagine you have convergence as well. Yeah, I mean they're barely even able to paint any negative momentum. At least XRP kind of showed a little bit of an island, and even where this actually painted it, the low, it couldn't even put any negative momentum. You see that, guys? Just like Bitcoin. And even on the RSI, convergence, so Stellar's looking actually good here as well. And again, guys, you have the same dragon pattern where you have this defined kind of spine, right? We're looking for these touch points. Yeah, look at that, guys. It's really nice. Really nice. Where we're taking the high from April 14th. We have the touch point April 22nd. We obviously had these touch points too, so it's really, really nice. And then right here where we're breaking out, we're just slightly back testing it. So yeah, that looks really good on Stellar. So again, guys, we're looking to kind of paint our tail now, right? So the channel, we look for this channel, ideally, and it seems like we're painting a pretty nice one. Again, we're going to use our Fibonacci retracement from the high to low, right? From high to low, and we're gonna look for this golden zone, right? From the 382 up to the 618. Okay, and that's how you're gonna get up into that top of that channel. Now, when you paint this channel like this, guys, sometimes people, especially if this stays on the high side of this kind of heart line of the channel, guys, this sometimes does shit like this, where you break out of the channel to the upside, okay? Bullish assets will do this to you, and again, that channel, that upsloping channel will trap people. They'll be like, oh, bear pull, bear flag, fail. So watch for it. Watch when we get up there. You're gonna see it all over Twitter. And sometimes it is, but again, the oscillators will tell us, right? Because we'll be looking here and we'll see, do we have bearish divergence here? And did we hit this 618 and have the divergence? Then maybe it'll fail. But if we're not showing that exhaustion yet, and momentum is still showing upside, guys, this channel will break to the upside sometimes. So this is something, especially like I said, if we stay on the top of that heart line, that's like just showing that like you couldn't even test the bottom of it. I mean, you already did twice to build it, and that might be enough. 2 touch points on the bottom, get 3 on top. You already have 1, get 2 more, and then break out. This happens all the time. So at this point, if that's what you end up seeing, that results in a deeper retrace, the 786, 886 area, okay? But first, I would say, the 618 will be definitely an area of interest, and then we can get up in the 786, 886 type of zone, which is where we see square ups, guys. We see square ups up here, so it's not going to be crazy to hit this square up at 63 cents on Stellar, but prior to that, you're probably going to hit 56 cents. Right now, you're only at 44 cents, guys. So even just from here to the 618 is 26%, guys. And if you get any more of that, you get 786 square up 886 type areas, that's 45%, guys. So that is stellar lumens. Moving on, somebody requested EOS. Sorry, I'm gonna take a quick drink. Take a look at that. Tell me what you guys see. All right. Oh. Okay, so guys, this one looks like a cross between the two. What we just looked at, right? So you have the tighter double bottom like you do on XRP, but you don't have as defined of a spine. It's still not bad, but that one on Stellar was really nice, because it had a lot more touch points up here. But I mean, this is kind of a cross between what we saw in XRP with these lows being really tight, but we still got what we wanted, guys. We got the slightly higher low on the right side, which is very kind of critical with the dragon. I don't believe the dragon. I need to check on this. I don't believe the dragon likes the lower. I may be wrong. It's a Bulkowski pattern, so we'll have to refer to the encyclopedia. I just need to refer back to that and see if you can have, if it has to be a higher low or if it can be all three, equal lows and slightly lower low. Either way, guys, even if it was a slightly lower low like this, it almost still plays out the same. So I don't think it actually matters that much. But anyway, so what do we do here? We look for the kind of tail, right? 618 golden retrace, fib from the high to the low. Excuse me. And we would be targeting the 618, which is at $7.14. Something right in there, guys. But anywhere in here, there's traders that are going to get in where we are and they're going to get out in this area, and that's going to be it. There's other traders that'll ride this higher, or attempt to at least, maybe square up $8.70, but there's some traders that are going to hit that golden zone and they're going to bail. For us, again, this seems sharky, so we could see if we're also painting kind of sharkish. Oof, that's pretty deep. 1618, too deep. So this shark would have targeted the 886 though. That's if we got it, it would have been like this. And again, even though it's a little deep, we wanted this to be a 1618, guys. So if it was more textbook, it would have looked like this. This is what we wanted to see. And it's really close, because it is where these candle closes kind of were. Yeah, man, it's really close. So this is what a shark would have looked like. You would have targeted that 886, and that would have been kind of this square up again, guys. See how you have that square up and that 886 kind of in that same area? So these could be, basically you could look at this as two different kind of trades here. Not two different trades, but two different targets, right? So we could bring this one over here, and those could be your targets from the current area, even if this comes back down here, but even that'd just be a better entry. But from here, you would say target one would be like this, and whoops, and then you would paste this over, and target 2 would come up like this. Okay, guys, that's all I'm kind of saying. So you have 2 of these take profit target areas, and stop losses, again, like we said on XRP, you don't want to lose that previous low. So it would be like that. Again, like we said, you just kind of take where price currently is and kind of just layer in. Ideally, you definitely want to break above this downsloping trend line, kind of backtest it, and that's kind of how you would kind of build a position here on EOS. You know, a couple $100, couple $1,000, whatever your total, stack just varies, right? Some of you guys, maybe this is a $50 trade. Other guys put, 300-400 in here. Some of you guys, like I said, 3,000-4,000. You don't worry about where you are right now, guys. You'll get to those next levels if you play correctly. If you rush it, you're never going to make it. You know what I mean? You're never going to make it. So, ARC, YouTube audio is perfect. Okay, well, that's good. I'm not sure why it sounds robotic for some. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Duck is robot. So, that's a compliment. Thank you, by the way. Okay, so we don't want to lose that previous low on the left on April 23rd, and we'd be targeting $7.14, $8.50 EOS. Request for SNX. Similar structure, right, guys? You're seeing pattern similarities, aren't you? Where we have these lows with slightly higher low, we have the spines, we have potential harmonics here, where this potentially is more cipher-ish. Watch. 127 now, 1618. So again, 886, 786 would be cipher. So if this was cipher, you would do this basically, okay? Cipher. If it's a shark, you're gonna do this. The plan is the same. You see what I mean, guys? That didn't change the world. I barely moved my finger up there, and I moved like $1 in price on your target. Oh my God. Either way, the plan would be the same. You would be targeting 618, 786, 886 type targets. You have downsloping trend line, what was once, resistance. Ooh, this broke out actually kind of nice. Anywhere in here, right? It's just trying to line it up right here and right here, and then kind of right again here, and then you engulfed, right? So even if you backtest this, and yeah, you'll take up most of this initial engulfing gains, but so what? That's just a little BS, right? We're looking for up here, right? So again, guys, we said we painted these lows, right? Painted the lows, and then we painted slightly higher lows. So like nothing was even wrong here. This is just price action. People freaking out. Freaking the fuck out. Okay, so let's fib from high to low, and golden retrace from the 382 to the 618, dragon-esque type stuff. Maybe this is some kind of parallel channel here with a break to the upside, right? That's kind of what we were talking about on, I don't know, was it XRP or one of these, where we say, okay, let's get bullish and let's ride this heart line, but then we're going to break to the upside right into the golden zone. Maybe that helps kind of paint the picture a little better for you guys on how these channels will break to the upside, when a lot of times people immediately want to call it a bear pole, bear flag. Arcs, it's just Twitch, huh? So fuck Twitch. Alright guys, well, jump over to YouTube, I guess. You'll have better audio. Alright, excuse me. Okay, so golden retrace here as our first area of interest on SNX. Okay, we jumped over to a few stonks. We had some stonky requests. So, we took this one a few weeks back on Apple, and we're approaching our first target area of interest. We basically painted like a shark almost, guys, where we had a deep C, kind of 1618 overhead, higher high on the C, and then we had an 886 D. Look, we're guys, this is exactly what we just said on these other assets, right? Where we come up and basically this is kind of the low, the higher low, here's the spine, and here's how we're looking to target this golden zone 886 type retracement, but then you sell off. You see what I mean? So these sharks, yeah, they'll give you and these sharks and these dragons. You see how this kind of there's your like spine. This wasn't per se a dragon, but the dragon and the shark price action, they kind of are one within themselves. One, they are one. You know, where you find one, you find the other. A lot of times, type of situation. So here was your low in price, right? And then you had this higher low. And then you broke out of the downsloping trend line. You ran all the way up into the golden zone, right? So let's paint the golden zone. So from high to low, you would have had this kind of golden retrace where you went from the 382 to the 618, but then it wasn't over. You then went up and hit the 786 and the 886. Guys, that's what we just talked about, right? So that's what Apple just did and does and is doing, all that good stuff. So if you look at it from the opposite kind of perspective, this is just a bearish dragon. It's just hard to see a bearish dragon because it's upside down, right? So like inverting it for you real quick kind of gave you a little visualization, excuse me, that you're seeing the same stuff just in different forms, right? It's like certain types of food, right? Italian food, Mexican food, whatever. It's the same type of ingredients, it's just shaped in a little different form, right? But it's all the same stuff, okay? Uh, every time's good. All right, so look, we entered over here somewhere. Um, ba, ba, ba. We entered over here somewhere, and prices reaching target 1, target 2 approaching. You also have earnings on Apple on April 28th. So if earnings come out good for Apple, you're going to hit target 1 and you're going to hit target 2. Can earnings fuck shit up? Of course. But these guys within our harmonic released fucking all their new products. We painted a harmonic, we entered, like 3 weeks later they released all these products and boom. That has nothing to do with the FA, did it? The TA was already there, bruh. Your FA just happens to coincide. These FA guys, man, they think it's all the FA, but strategically the FA just happens to get released when the CFO, who knows how to chart, says, "Hey guys, let's fill our position as the market maker and the composite operator, and let's accumulate at the bottom, at the harmonic, at the inverse head and shoulders of the PCZ with the bullish divergence. Let's accumulate our stack, and then as we're running over, we'll release the news, and boom, targets hit, then we'll dump on everybody, and we will put all that money into R&D, new product. All right, on we go." Phase energy, guys, the same thing. We looked at this exactly when we looked at Apple. Okay, Duck's telling you something here without telling you something here. Okay, so guys, 3 rising valleys, Bukowski pattern, Bukowski bottom, 3 rising valleys. You see the valleys, guys, where you have these lows, higher low, slightly higher low. These valleys with these higher lows approaching an overhead resistance type, area where critical overhead resistance approaches. We've touched it once, we've touched it twice, and we are approaching a third touch point. That is also about to happen when, guys? It's about to happen on April 26th, Monday. Earnings come out. Well, let me tell you guys something. Since the previous earnings to this earnings, we may have released some batteries. So, I haven't seen the report, but everything's lining up for what just happened on Apple. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So, Bukowski through rising valleys, overhead resistance, SR flip. We need to flip the $170 area. And if so, we're going to look to retarget 200 at least, okay? So if we fib this from high to low, let's put out there that golden retrace zone, which we are just approaching and butting up against the 382 to the 618. Okay, so right there is how you hit the 618 golden retrace. Ideally, something like this happens where earnings come out good. You gap up here. Eventually, things cool off. You back test the neckline as support. What was once resistance would now be back tested as support. Maybe even see a little double bottom there, paint a little cipher or something, and then you run again. And when you run again, you're looking at the square up, which is at basically 208. We're going to square up this area over here from this previous candle, okay? So 208, and I'm probably pretty sure that that's like a 786, 886 type retracement. 786, 208, 48. Guys, come on, bruh. Alright, 786 would be 208. At that point, we could look for, if we still are painting convergence or some kind of hidden, maybe we, on this back test, we paint hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour, run up, tag this level, square it up, but because of that hidden bull, we're not done yet. And this might say butterfly time. Well, if we say butterfly time, that starts at the 1272, and that'll go from the 1272, which is right here, guys, 1272 on the butterfly. Bam. Let's go with butterfly like that. Alright, so if I were a butterfly and I hit my 1272, we're now at $260. $260 at that point is what we could see if things remain the way I'm kind of hoping they do. Okay, so if this ran again, whoops, I'll leave this one here. We'll mark this level. And again, we would be looking at next the 1414, which is right here at 270, and ultimately the 1618 golden mean ratio. Pattern completion zone, D short entry target of the bearish butterfly, which would be at, let me zoom in. Let me mark the level for you guys so you can see the dollar amount on the screen. And price action would be around just shy of $300. Psychological round number, $300 on Enphase. ENPH is the ticker. Traditional asset, legacy market. Tesla request. Tesla painting. Again, similar patterns. Higher lows, guys. Higher lows. We like this. Higher lows, right? Neckline. Breakout. Gap up. Just like what we said on Enphase. Gap up over the neckline. Run up. Hit the 1618. Oh, what is that? Gap fill. Looking left. Fill the gap. Come back down. Gap down. Square up. Run up. Gap fill back up. Chop around. Indecision. Higher low. Right? Slightly higher lows. Again, higher lows. Kicker. Higher lows. Always want to see it. Means trend is friend. Trend is friend. Okay? Not only higher lows, but neckline, SR flip, right? You got the SR flip of the neckline. And now we're targeting the 1618, which the 618 golden retrace, which we may have already tagged on the breakout of the neckline. Pfft, fucking kidding me? Tag that ass. Ran left, squared it up, tagged it, back tested the neckline, reset the oscillators, earnings approaching, boom, boom, boom. April 26th, oh, Elon announces, loaded up on Bitcoin, balance sheet is up, we run again. Next, we target 786, 886, deep retrace area, which would at that point for Tesla be 825 to 860 area, okay? Now, we look to the harmonics. Are they there? Sure. So in the box, we're going to hit the bearish bat, okay? X, A, B, 50% retrace, kicker, variable of the bat, the 50, okay? 886, 886, boom, top of the box. Tesla. See you at 859. Bruh. And we're back to Bitcoin. So yeah, guys, sorry about the fucking audio mix-up. Hopefully, the new PC solves all of those issues. We got some cool stuff. I got a new mic sitting right here. It just, again, it seems like all this stuff wants to be hooked to the PC, and I'm trying to hook it to the Mac laptop. And all I have is a bunch of USB-C ports on the side of this, and all this mics and all this stuff has USBs. So I'm using these little, adapters, whatever you call them, little docks, right? These dock stations that are plugging into the USB-C, but and they're giving me USB. But again, it's kind of like I got some middleman action happening there, and it's just messing with everything. But we actually have a stream deck from Stream Elements that we're gonna bring into the streams, and we have a new mic, so hopefully that'll clear up the audio, a little clarity. We will also be removing the fan noise of the laptop. So everything should start to come together here, guys. We will also increase our CPU, GPU type, performance on the rig itself. Liquid cooled, no fan. Reason I went with that option. So hopefully that all comes together and I could figure out how